Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's IG Live. I hope you're all having a great day. Today, we're going to be joined by Dr. Stan Tatkin. I just had the best conversation with him over his newest book, In Each Other's Care. Dr. Stan Tatkin! For those of you that don't know Dr. Stan, he's incredible. He is a clinician, a teacher, an author. He and his wife, Tracy Tatkin, have designed the PACT. They're PACT developers and teaching other clinicians. And it is really an incredible book. I learned so much from Dr. Tatkin, and today we have 30 minutes with him. So I hope that if you are here with us live, that you are going to take this time to ask him your relationship questions, because he's an absolute expert when it comes to love and relationships. And his newest book is really helping people with conflicts. So if you've got, I don't know, if you're have a partnership where you're fighting about certain things over and over again, I'm sure that Dr. Stan can help you navigate this. So we do lives every week with our experts, and I really hope today you're going to take the opportunity to ask Stan your questions. So he is an MFT clinician, author, researcher, PACT developer, and co-founder of the PACT Institute. Dr. Tatkin is an assistant clinical professor at UCLA. He maintains a private practice in Southern California and leads PACT programs in the US and internationally. He's the author of We Do, Wired for Love, Your Brain on Love, Relationships Prescription, Wired for Dating, and co-author of Love and War in Intimate Relationships and In Each Other's Care. So the latest book that I just read was in Each Other's Care, and it is awesome because there's a list of any and all, well, most conflicts that couples find themselves in, and ways that we can walk through these conflicts. So I'm going to wait for Stan to ask to be invited to join. For those of you that are with us, can you please tell me where you're from? And hopefully you can please write your questions for Dr. Stan in the chat, and I will make sure that I ask those of him. And I don't know if those of you that are joining us live, we are selling tickets for our In Bloom Summit, April 10th to 12th in Vancouver. We've already sold 50% of the tickets. There's only 200 left out of 400. So I hope that you're going to join us live in Vancouver. Oh, Donna, you're from North Vancouver. Are you coming to the summit? I hope you're coming to the summit. Dr. Stan, I see that you've joined, and now all you need to do is request to join the live. Oh, and I see the Gottmans. The Gottmans are on. They're saying it was great to participate. Dr. John and Dr. Julie were keynote speakers at our In Bloom last year, and they were incredible. Abdel, you joined us from Victoria. Hi, buddy. I'm so glad you're on the live. Do you have any questions for Dr. Stan? Oh, so Donna, you did come to our summit. Oh, there he is. I see him. Dr. Stan's in the house. Here we go. Oh, here we go.
Hi, you know what? Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Okay, I can't see you now. The reason I'm late is that I actually didn't get the invitation in the usual way.
Oh,
So I panicked a little bit, but I'm glad I'm here.
I'm so glad you're here, Stan. Can you see me?
I cannot.
Oh, darn. I can see you.
I know I can see myself too.
Okay. Well, then that's great. If you're okay not looking at me, and that's fine, because we
Well,
can see you.
the nice thing is that I did look at you only a few minutes ago.
That's okay. All you need to know it's working, and you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Are we ready? We're going to do this. We've got 24 minutes to get, we've got some amazing people joining us live,
Oh,
and
good.
we are going to go through these community questions.
Yay. I'm
All
just
right.
wondering why I can't see. Instagram is weird.
Sometimes it is. Trust me, technology and I, yeah, we're doing this though. We're good. All right. So the first question is, why do my partner and I keep having the same argument, even when we both agree we don't want to?
That's because without realizing it, the two of you are compelling each other to argue. It's right. You don't want to, but you're compelling. And here's how it works. Based on repetition and history, your memory, both of you have accrued memory in this, at least in this one area instance. And so the manner in which you're talking is is compelling the other person to protect themselves. That's the only reason. That's is the only reason. You may not know that you're doing that, but you are. If I were, videotaping you, I could play it back and you would get it. So the only reason people are fighting is because one person, doesn't matter which one, doesn't matter who starts, because it's no longer about that. It's now the system is reacting to itself, infinity. One person is talking in a manner that feels threatening to the other based on memory. That person protects themselves because they feel compelled to by the words, language, or the behavior in a manner that is now threatening to the other. And that person now is compelled to protect themselves by that. And that is how you get into a threat loop, right? It's the only reason. Um, uh, you've rehearsed this already uh, badly,
Hmm.
and so you're simply responding autonomically based on our survival instinct, based on pattern recognition. This sounds just like this, and I need to protect myself or my interests, which I will do, right? Unless I know better. And what's happening is that is the truth. That's all that's happening. So one of you has to break the loop by
Hmm.
doing something unequivocally friendly, which changes the trajectory. You have to snap out of what the state that you both are in, which is altered. It's actually altered by chemicals in the brain, neurotransmitters, particularly glucocorticoids. As soon as those appear in the brain, we no longer care about the interests of the other person. We no longer put ourselves in their shoes. And most importantly, we cannot be influenced. Therefore, it's in the other person's best interest to bring us right now back to safety where we can be influenced. In other words, you've lost each other as audiences.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it is.
Yes.
Um,
Like you said, you want to bring. I love what you said. You're going to do something that's unequivocally friendly.
yes, because the other person does not see you as a friendly.
Mhm. Yeah,
That's
that's
why.
great. It's
Yeah.
great. You had to break the cycle, break the loop.
You're breaking you're breaking a system that operates without your permission. And that is our threat system, our survival instinct is always on and it's subcortical, meaning that is it's operating under the radar. It does things without your permission. And if it thinks there's threat, then it's going to reorganize you in a way that actually brings more threat. It seems like it shouldn't do that, but it does because everything I do is registered by you. If I'm protecting myself from you, the way I'm doing it is not going to appear friendly to you. It's going to appear threatening to you. Therefore, I'm compelling you to do the same thing, right? That's why partners by nature are going to make each other worse
Mm.
because we do not understand the animal we picked. They're different from us. We don't know their core vulnerabilities, and we're likely stepping into them all the time. So I don't know why you're behaving this way. I'm going to react the way you anticipate I would react, the way other people, in primary attachment relationships, going all the way back to your childhood, have always reacted, right? That's what you are expecting. Therefore, I do it because your way of defending or protecting yourself is threatening to me. Therefore, I'm going to react. I'm not paid to do anything else. I'm not a therapist who's paid to sit and do nothing and understand, right? I'm not in the mood right now for curiosity. I'm not going to clarify because through pattern recognition, I know you're doing something that is dangerous to me right now based on what you have done or what has happened with me. Therefore, I'm simply protecting myself without any executive online that says, maybe you're not doing that. And that is because we've rehearsed this, the manner in which we interact under stress, enough for me to recognize it. And that's why we shoot first and ask questions later. That is a natural human problem. And you have to be smarter and know that that is operating whether you like it or not. So you have to wake up and know that, oh, this person is feeling as threatened as I am. Otherwise, it wouldn't behave this way. Therefore, I'm going to wave the white flag of friendliness, but I must know what is friendly to this person. Some people don't like you moving forward and going into their eyes. Some people don't want to be touched. Some people even don't want you to move. Some people will attack you if you move back. Right? This
That's
bear, this
that
bear goes
actually
after you.
that
I'm
actually
sorry.
you actually make a really good point,
Yeah,
Stan. So, like I know like something that I've learned with my partner is that when he's under threat, when he's in that animal state, let's just say, I want to get close and I want to touch him and be like, we're okay, you know?
that's nice.
He
That's nice,
does
but he's
not,
not
he
you.
does not want to be touched. He does not feel like
Yeah,
physically, he's feeling, no, I do not want to touch you right now. I don't want to hug you. I don't want any of that. So me knowing that about him is so important. That information is so important for me
yeah,
to not impose like my way of how I would want to be calmed down to on his way. So that's important information.
yeah. I mean, we forget we're animals, and that's because we talk, which is misleading. Other animals don't talk; they're easier to understand. I want to hug the bear, but I'll get killed unless it's drugged, right? I may want to do
Yeah.
that. I would like it if the bear hugged me, but that's danger. I would like it if I could just walk away or run away from the bear, but it's going to chase me. So I have to know who I'm dealing
Yeah, that's
with.
good. Yeah. So Stan, what does secure functioning, you talk about secure functioning relationships.
Yeah.
What does that actually look like in everyday life? Like what is it? What does secure functioning mean?
Secure functioning really is a set of social contracts made between two people in this case, or more, but two people usually, that are based on fairness, justice, and sensitivity to the other's sensibilities. So in order to protect ourselves from each other, which is a necessary thing, we have to plan for our devils, because devils we are under stress. Because that is the main problem. That takes planning, that takes prevention, that takes coming up with principles by which we're going to live and operate, and rules, or guardrails to prevent things that are irritating or interrupt discourse, right? Because all people are irritating, right? Everyone has something that's going to annoy the other. Usually the thing that they were attracted to, by the way, the thing they were attracted to at the beginning becomes one of the most annoying things. It's nature's little joke.
Oh,
But but you can plan on that one.
yeah.
You both have the bite that fits the wound because, by definition, you are proxies for the earliest attachment primary relationships, mom and dad, the originals, because we pair bond by recognition and familiarity. It's not an accident. And so we're more likely to play the parts that trigger each other. We just play them on TV. We're not actually those people, but we're doing something that is familiar. Um, uh, and that triggers memory, which triggers a defense, a reaction.
Mm.
It's all memory. Biggest problem is memory, which is why
Mhm.
you want to fix things right away, because you do not want it going into long-term memory where it's gonna be the gift that keeps on giving. When you could have taken care of it right away, and then nobody remembers it.
Right. And
So
that's what you say, Stan, is like you want to first is relieve yourself, your partner, when there's threat detected, right?
right, right,
And repair, like that is like the next thing you want to do is, once you've brought the threat level down, is come to a place of repair.
yes, because the other person has experienced an injustice, and they will not rest until that injustice is recognized and there are amends for it, whether you think you did it or not. Will not go away just simply by you saying, I didn't do that, or you're making it up, or you're too sensitive. Get ready for that bear to start to claw your face off, right? And that's predictable. Everyone will. So, right? And so, if you know what's good for you and you want to keep your relationship, you do what is not natural for us to do under those conditions. Fall on your sword fully and completely, without exception, without explanation, without reason, without anything, because that's the only thing that will work. And your partner has got to do that with you too. It's a good discipline, which works
Yes.
in the entire world, by the way,
Oh my gosh, I
because
just think I love the fact that you just keep reminding people, because I mean, that was my reminder. I read your book this week. It was like, this requires discipline. This is
yeah,
hard to do, because we're not wired that way. It's like we're going the opposite of our
of
wiring.
course, of
Yeah.
course, their wiring is to go to war. Unfortunately, as human primates, we're much better at that than
Mhm.
maintaining relationship. That's always been our lot. And so we have to outsmart these systems that are going to take charge. Otherwise, we lose our relationships with our kids, with our spouses, with people that we care about. It happens every day with people. And so the reason we invented apology was to stay at peace, keeps the peace. It also keeps the relationships intact, because if you feel I harmed you, I can't talk you out of that. That makes you
Yes.
more angry. Therefore, I have to fix it. I have to care more about the relationship than being right. It's hard for us to do, all of us.
Yes. Yeah. How about this question? How can I share what I need without it sounding like criticism or blame?
That's a great question, because one person's feeling that you're criticizing them is another person who appreciates the feedback. So, again, know the animal you're with. um, you have to know how to get in without facing their guards that are going to shoot you because they see something coming a mile away, because they're very sensitive to feeling attacked. So if that is the case, you better fluff the pillow and scaffold their vulnerability before you enter. Otherwise, you don't get in. This is just a fact. And so know your sensitivities of your partner. They are your only audience that you care about at the moment. If you get attacked back, it's on you, because you should know who you're with. You should know where their core vulnerabilities are. And those are deep, and they're usually about not feeling good enough. It starts very early, not feeling smart enough, never being enough. I'm invisible. I'm not handsome enough. I am stupid. It's always my fault. These are the kinds of things that are implied or done, and they go right in to our sense of self at a very early formative time, and they do not go away ever. Therefore, you have to protect your partner from these things as an ally, and they do that with you. Otherwise, you're going to make each other worse just by nature, by default.
So an example, Stan, would be if you know that your partner is sensitive to Like not like not wanting to mess up, like they've done something wrong. Like that's like
Yeah,
let's say that's a core vulnerability, right?
yeah.
So you know that you need like you want to be voicing something. So what could you say right off the bat is just like
I
you did not do anything wrong. Like this
first I'm
is
gonna
you
mi- I-
start.
first I'm gonna mix it up because otherwise you'll start to know where I'm going next time. So we're gonna mix it up. But I adore you. I think you're wonderful. I really do. Something pissed me off though. Now I can do it because you in particular needed to hear that so it didn't automatically go down that tube because I'm assuming that you already know that. Uh-uh, it's not a great idea with this person. It always goes down that tube of I'm never enough or I'm being attacked. Right? Shame. So knowing better, do the scaffolding beforehand so you do not misunderstand what I am trying to do here. Right? Pattern recognition. And so, yeah, it's an extra step, but it's much appreciated and it works as opposed to anything else.
Wow, great,
Just
awesome.
like you would if you had a difficult boss, you have no choice. You're going to have to handle them, otherwise you get fired. Right? They're not. You can't go to your boss and say, "Hey, I disagree with how you're dealing with me. I think you have problems in your childhood." No, you get fired. They don't care. Right? That's not the power. It's a power differential. You're not equals. So I have to think about how I'm going to handle this person so that I am not miserable and that they're not doing what they do that negatively affects me. Right? I have to think about it. It's on me to do it. It actually is the same way with your partner. It's on you to know who you're dealing with, or good luck.
Wow.
That's all of us.
Yep. When one partner tends to shut down and the other gets louder during conflict, how can we find our way back to connection? This is
Well,
common, right?
oh, so common. Uh, my moving forward and wanting to talk is exactly what you recognize as threat, which makes you move back more or makes you shut down more, which makes me want to get more talkative and louder and pursue you naturally. I don't know any different because what you're doing to protect yourself threatens me. That's predictable, but I'm not predicting you, right? I just keep doing the same things as if you're me or as if you should be otherwise, right? And so that is sort of the amplification effect that we do. If we do business badly with each other, we're going to amplify some of our worst idiosyncrasies and behaviors because we're reacting. And the other person doesn't realize they're reacting just as you're reacting. Someone has to step in and do something about that. And you both need to know, again, who you're dealing with. Person who tends to shut down needs to do some signaling in order to not threaten the partner who likes and wants and needs to talk, right? And vice versa. That has to be practiced. And that is usually in my clinic staged. We call it the difficult partner, right? Uh, because it's a misunderstanding. Most everything is a misunderstanding, by the way. People just don't
Hmm.
realize. And so that's a definite misunderstanding. It's like boo, boo, right? You're scaring each other, but you're pointing outward. It's you. You're the problem. We don't realize that they're responding to what we're doing, and then they're responding to what we just did. That's what's happening.
Yes.
The system reacts to itself now.
Wow. Yeah. Is it possible to rebuild trust after years of repeated arguments over the same issue?
Yes, here's the problem. And this is why I like prevention. I love seeing couples in the beginning because they're fresh and new and they have an accrued memory, threat memory in particular. So keep in mind that our brain by nature has a negativity bias. We remember negative things more, and we tend to, in the absence of any other information, we assume the worst for survival, right? And so if you've been doing the same things, if you've been doing business badly, because the problem lies in the manner in which we interact, when either of us are under stress, that is the ghost in the machine. That is what is repeating. That is causing the problem. So if we've done that again and again through repetition, we've built up a lot of inflammation and more and more a larger and wider array of threat cues through the face, voice, gestures, all sorts of things, words and phrases, right? That's all we're doing is making things much worse for the next time. Therefore, yes, absolutely, you can design the relationship differently based on what has not worked and creating ways to prevent each other from repeating in the future. But here's the problem. The price of repetition is that memory will, negative memory will intrude on the present and the future because it doesn't have an executive function that discerns whether it's actually happening or not. So we do something different, and part of our brain is going to yell at us saying, don't trust them, they won't do it. Don't trust her, she won't do it. That's the price we pay for building up that kind of memory. It intrudes on the present unless we use an executive function that questions it. Are they really doing that right now? Wait a second, we're trying to fix this. Remember, these other areas that are lightning fast don't care what you're doing to fix things. It is there to warn you based on the past. So the past is present, and the past will intrude on the present. You have to know that because it makes it harder, not undoable, harder to do this because of that feature in our brain. You have to override it by knowing it's misleading. Otherwise, it'll keep you repeating the same thing.
Yep. And so it's setting up an agreement with your partner and saying, we're going to do things differently now. This is it very important for us to to reconnect and build trust again.
Well, first you have to solve the safety and security problem, which is going to tank everything.
Oh, yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
search everywhere for where you have threatened each other, lock that system down to prevent either of you from doing any of that in the future with mistakes. That's what apologies are for. And you do that carefully and thoughtfully, in a very considered way, predicting what could go wrong based on what has gone wrong. Then, when you both are on the same page and both are on board, you give each other permission to enforce with the absolute expectation that when enforced, the other one must cooperate immediately or there will be trouble. That is true governance. We're doing this by previous agreement because that would be the best thing we could do. Even when we don't want to do it, remember, that's
Mhm.
the only thing that counts. The right thing, when it's the hardest thing to do, is all that counts when it comes to being an upright person, right? Being a better than the average primate. Uh, and and so we can forget, which we will, because we're stupid that way. But when reminded, cued, or prompted, the expectation the other person cooperates. That's collaboration is coming up with it. This and the cooperation is following through. Right? That's governance. That will work, and that will begin to undo this thing by creating new behaviors that relegate those memories to a dirt road, always able to flare up again if it repeats. Remember that this is a memory thing. There are neural pathways that have been built because repetition. Sorry, that's the price for doing it badly. But that's on both of you, not one of you, right?
Yeah.
So you have to fix it together. That's teamwork.
That's right.
Understanding the forces you're up against, which are always there to get you to feel better right now at the cost of doing the right thing. That's how we are under stress.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Dr. Stan Tatkin, for being with us today and for answering all of our questions and just sharing all of your wisdom. I know it's made a big difference in my relationship, so I
And
appreciate
mine
you.
too. Thank you. This is a practice. It's not a perfect, but it's based on a formula that We're in it together. I have to take care of myself and you at the same time, or you will confuse me as an adversary. Hard to do when under stress,
Yeah,
but
but
it's worth it.
it's totally worth it.
It's
Absolutely
worth
is.
it.
Well, thank you, Dr. Stan
All right.
Tatkin.
Bye,
Blessings to you.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. It's good to
Bye bye.
see all these people that I recognize.